Hello, this is Mr. DeClerc, and I wanted to give you a very quick, brief overview of Google Docs and how you are expected to set up a Google Doc in regards to MLA format. So a couple of things. First of all, you'll see up here top left, Untitled Document. I always recommend that you start by titling your document. All you do is click there and you can type it in. Also, if you just start here, and you type something there and you click up here, then we'll also title it that way. So sample paper, I'm going to actually delete this because I don't want that there. But so real quick here, you got the print icon top left, you got the undo and the redo buttons. The paint function is a little bit, well, we're not going to deal with that today. Zoom, you could zoom in on your paper, zoom out on your paper, depending on what you are trying to see. Normal text, again, we're not going to deal with that today, but if you were doing a lot of different sections in your paper, you would deal with that. All right, font. This is an important thing, font. MLA format, Google Docs is set automatically to Arial size 11. In most cases, that will be acceptable. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape over it, but as I understand it, Times New Roman 12-point font is the expected MLA setting in font. So you can leave it to the default, and I would be fine with that. Just leave it to the default, but you can change it very easily to Times New Roman 12-point font. There are a lot of really cool fonts. If you are writing a paper for your English class and it is a formalized essay paper, you may not use any of the really fun fonts. There are some fun, cool fonts. You may not use them. I'm sorry. Times New Roman or Arial. You got to keep it simple, professional, clean. If you're doing some sort of fun project, by all means, explore all the fonts. Moving to the right, we got bold. So if you type something up, and you select it, you can make the text bold. You can underline the text. You can underline the text. You could change the text color. However, for MLA format, you just keep it in black. There's no reason to change that. It is the default, so just leave that alone. The link here, that's hyperlinking. That can be pretty cool. We're not going to talk about that today. And then following this is the justification. All right, so what ends up happening is that students come in here. Well, actually, let's do this the correct way. MLA format is always your name, the professor's name or teacher's name, the class, and the date. Okay, and then you go down here and then you would hit center justify and type in your title. Now what I see oftentimes, and I'm just going to come over here and grab my example. Just going to copy this, come back here. All right, so I am center justified right now for the title. Then I hit enter and I'm still center justified. So then when I put my, when I write my essay, what ends up happening is that it remains center justified. That's a problem. Check out the left over here. You see on the heading how smooth that line is, but down here on the text, it's all wiggly and kind of goes everywhere, and we got these two words here in the middle. That's center justified. I've also seen students get crazy and they do a right justified. You can see over here the right side becomes a very straight, rigid line. No, simply no. The text of your essay should be left justified. And you also need to indent all of your paragraphs. It's very simple. It's a one button. It's not a hit the space bar a couple times. All you do is hit the tab button on your keyboard. T-A-B, tab. Boom. All right. So if I'm typing, and I got that, tab. And the really cool thing is, I'm still center justified here. So I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to left justify this. All right, so I finished my paragraph, I hit enter. Because I have set the tab, because I already did the tab once and I just did it, it will automatically set the rest of my paper already sets the rest of my paper with the proper indent. So make sure you get the left justification, and this is how your paper should look. You've got the 1-inch margin on the top, the 1-inch margins on the left and right side. You'll see here at the very top, we got this little blue marker. If you move that, it moves the whole alignment of the page. And if you do this, that's where your tab is. If you do that, it moves the whole alignment of your paper. So don't touch those. There's no reason for you to touch those. They are set to default. Leave them alone. So really, there's very little that you need to be changing throughout the course of your text. And then I'll also show you this. This is the line spacing. Single space, 1.15 space, 1.5, and double space. If you set these things up at the very beginning when you first start your paper, you should be good to go. This is very simple MLA format rules. If you do a very quick Google search for MLA format, you'll probably come up with the OWL at Purdue. This is the go-to writing manual online. I have not found anything better than this. It tells you everything you need to know about writing your paper for your English language arts classes. How to do in-text citations, how to do works cited pages, how to cite all this information. You scroll down here, general standards, 8.5 by 11 paper, Times New Roman, 12-point font. I disagree with this one. It says 1 space after periods. I'm a 2 space after periods kind of guy, but most people don't ever bother to notice that. The margins should always be 1 inch. The default to your writing document, whether it's Word or Google, should be set to 1 inch already automatically. All right, just as another source here, if you go to Easybib, hopefully it's a site you're familiar with, same thing. It goes over the same exact stuff. So there are no excuses. The information is so easy for you to find. It's very basic. You don't have to do a lot. You should have these 4 lines as your heading. If you're going to add a title, make sure you center justify that. Everything else becomes left justified with an indent at the beginning of your paragraphs. And then double space for that. Okay? Title your papers, set them up properly. Most of the time, the default is going to work for you.